My name is Misha Thompson, and I'm from Kansas City and Lawrence, Kansas. And I do flood insurance underwriting, and I am openly secular. I was pretty religious as a child. I did a lot of thinking and a lot of searching, and I went to a lot of different churches. I explored a lot of different religions. I realized that it wasn't for me. I realized all the contradictions and all the things that didn't make sense, and the way that people treated each other, even though they were religious, didn't make sense at all to me, even within the churches that I attended. And I realized that in Lawrence, Kansas is actually a pretty, it's a college town, so it has a lot of people who are there as college students for the first time, who are openly exploring who they are and trying to figure out where they are in the world. And growing up in that environment really helped to kind of push me along that path and really understand what I wanted for myself as a secular person. Kansas, of course, is kind of on the edge of the Bible Belt, and I have some extremely religious relatives, and it's definitely not something that we talk about if we want to have a nice family gathering, essentially. It's not something that we want to talk about. And I realized at work one day, I was sitting at a lunch table with some of my coworkers, and they were talking about something, and then all of a sudden, the one lady at the table turned to me and she goes, "But we're all believers here. We're all believers in Christ, And I said, actually, I don't believe in Jesus." And all the talk at the table stopped in place. Everybody just stopped and kind of stared at me. And they were kind of like, "What? Wait a second, what?" And there was it really, I felt like all of a sudden I was being looked at and examined in a very odd way. All of a sudden, my motives were suspect. And it also really bothers me that people who are atheists or agnostic, they can't come out about it if they want to run for public office. We are not represented at all. And it feels like sometimes with public office you have a lot of people who are, they have to proclaim as loudly as they can what religion they are and how it affects their politics, where we have a very diverse country where we need that representation of us in society, and we're not being represented.